Hey y'all, it's Jack with Cowbell Farms, and I'm just checking on my greenhouse stuff just to see how it's overwintering, to see if it's gotten chilly. My telltale to know how cold it's getting or if everything's staying warm enough during the day is that I have aloe vera in here, and we all know aloe vera is very sensitive, so as long as it's staying bright and green, we know the temperature is doing pretty well in here. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a view of what I got just sitting in the greenhouse. Here it is. This is how bright and green all the aloe vera is still staying as it's in here overwintering. I have all of these different types of succulents thriving. This little palm tree is barely hanging on. This one's doing pretty good. But that one was actually not in here. It got left out during the drought in a spot where we forgot about it. So that's why it looks dead, but there's a tiny bit of life in it, so we'll see what we can do with it. There's just a bunch of different types of warm weather plants stuck up in here. And then I saw rosemary that I stuck a twig in the ground last spring, and it's already grown this big. My only surviving rosemary after the really cold weather that we had this past winter in Alabama, when it was, I think, 5 degrees or possibly -5 with a wind chill or something like that. And then we have a mess in here. This is all the cardboard that I collect for the gardens. My son works at a place where they ship stuff and deliver stuff, and so they save me a lot of the little inserts, which makes it nice because they're already really flat and really easy to work with. These are the citruses, and I mean, look at the shine on these guys. This is probably the best they have ever looked. These are Meyer lemons right here. This one, this one, this one. They got blooms all over them. There's lots of lemons gonna be sprouting on this tree. We got lemons here. We have some, this is a bay tree. My first time to have one of these. Gonna see how that does. Some more rosemary to replace all the ones that died. Some different types of tea plants that I have going on here. Some lemon balm. And this are lime trees. And these two have been on this farm probably 5 or 6 years, maybe 7. They've had a really tough life because they were in the barn a couple of winters overwintering, and both of those years the goats decided to eat them all the way down to a little bitty stump at the bottom, but they still sprouted. So it's taken anywhere from 5 to 6 years, I'm guessing, to have my very first bloom ever on these lime trees. Such a beautiful sight. So I come and check them pretty often just so that I know that they're doing okay. And over here I have turmeric that's overwintering in here. You don't have to bring turmeric in the winter time. I just happen to have them in these pots, and I've never grown them in pots, so I wasn't sure how they would do over winter. In the ground, they're fine. I have them planted around my swimming pool, and they make beautiful, very rapidly spreading and growing plants with beautiful flowers. Kind of like a canna lily type look to them. I have some elderberry trees here and here, and I think I have a few more somewhere else, but these are the ones that are right here getting ready to go in. There's a tiny one right over here, and this was from a twig that I stuck in the ground. So it does work to just cut them in pieces and stick them in the ground and see what happens. It's bright in here today. There's some puppies peeking in. Hey Boomer, hey Maverick, say hey. And the rest of my messy greenhouse back here, some furniture. This guy I found on the side of the road. Someone just threw this whole thing out, and it's ginormous. But I've been getting pieces off of this and starting new ones. So that's where all my other mother-in-law tongue or snake plant, whatever you want to call it. Here's the real messy part of the greenhouse over here with all the pots and my wood stove that I don't have hooked in yet. Still, after 2 years, it's still just sitting there. But priorities, right? This is actually one of my favorite places to be in the winter. This is the time that I come in and clean this out and get it organized, is when I can spend time in here and I'm in 60+ degree weather instead of outside, and just being around all the beautiful greenery that is in here and nowhere else on the farm at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour, and I look forward to making more content and putting more tours out there and showing you things. But right now it's just really ugly, so it's kind of depressing to me to even film it when it looks so bad out there. But y'all have a good evening, and God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye.